Hello Virgo, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Virgo is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. These readings are totally free. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Virgo, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Look at that 10 of Cups. Wow. That is everything, right? You're somebody who knows what they want. You're somebody with a pretty clear idea of how you want your life to feel. Now, we may not know how we want it to look. We may not know the details, the color of the wallpaper, the type of furniture, but we know how we want our life to feel. And I think that this is the motivating thing for you, right? This is the card of the perfect life. This is the card of like the dream come true life and how it's going to feel to be in that life. Okay? And I think that lately you've been feeling more and more that sort of question, like, what is going to be my best life? What is it? What do I want it to feel like? What do I need to do in order to get this life that I feel is mine, you know? I feel like you're very sensitive emotionally right now. Okay. I feel like a lot of things are sort of building up in your life. A lot of things are sort of rapidly progressing. And I kind of feel as if we're starting to ask more questions about our life and what direction it's taking. Okay. Well, let's put this card into a little bit of context. This is contentment. This is saying, I just want to be content with life. You know, I want to have everything that I need, and I don't want to need anything more. I want to become sugar, you know, so I don't have to go out and always be trying to find the sweetness of life. I just want to have it here and be comfortable, be happy, and moreover, be content, to be satisfied with life. Okay, let's put that into some context. So we've got our Aeon card. Ooh, that's good. That's a doorway. We have a 3 of Cups. We've got a Universe card. We have a 10 of Pentacles. And we have a Queen of Wands. Okay. We have a 2 of Cups. We have a 5 of Swords. A 7 of Pentacles. And an 8 of Wands. Okay. Very good. There's a strong Sagittarius influence in your life right now. I don't know where that's coming from exactly. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down over here with Mr. Ed, our tiny horse, right there on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together, and it will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any point during this message you feel like you might know what that card could be, put your prediction in the comments down below. All right, let's use our intuition. Now, as we look around the room, we see 2 major arcana energies. This is our reality as we knew it. And I think that this is a definite change in regard to the past. I feel like you're done waiting for something. I feel like you're going out to get it. Okay, so we have 2 majors. We've got fire, we've got some water, we've got a little bit of air, and we've got some earth cards. Okay. I think that when we're talking about asking the questions of what does our best life look like, we know what we want it to feel like. We know that we want to be happy, we want to be content, we want to have the fulfillment, we want to be satisfied, we want there to be a depth of meaning and purpose here. Now we're starting to get the image of what it looks like. And now that this image is starting to come more clearly into view, we know how we must go forward into the future to get it. Okay? And I think that you are, you're getting activated. There's a lot in you that we're sort of getting ambitious here. Okay, I don't think we're waiting around for anything anymore. I think we're going out there and we're getting it. We're going to create this best life. Okay, so the water energy that we have too is spectacular, right? Because you're such a positive person. I feel that you're learning how to speak up and express yourself in a way that is, I think, honest, right, and authentic. This is the Three of Cups. It's inside of you right now. This is kind of your internal state. And this feels like a card of abundance, that we are sort of expressing appreciation and gratitude. We're expressing love, but moreover, we're expressing what we want, right? This is Mercury in Cancer. So we're starting to speak up and express our needs and kind of and make a proclamation in our life that says, I want my dream life. I want to find all those things in life that are going to bring me the good life, the satisfied life, the contented life. Okay, so we're starting to express ourselves in that way, and I think the more that you radiate your intentions out there to the world, the more you're going to connect with those things that are meant for you. Okay, so this is internally, this is a feeling of abundance. This is a feeling like even if our life isn't perfect right now, we can operate from either a place of scarcity or a place of abundance. And if we're looking at our life from that place of abundance, we're going to start attracting more of those, because when we start with love in our heart, then we think positive thoughts, and then we start to do positive things. We start to do the work that's going to bring more of that good stuff into our life. If we start from a place of scarcity, or fear, or something like this, right, or anger or hatred or something, then that's going to color our thoughts. And those thoughts are going to result in certain behaviors that are going to sort of repel all the love and the abundance that we wanted anyway. So you're starting from a place of abundance, radiating out love and gratitude, being thankful for everything. Okay? When a bill comes in, we got to pay a bill. We say, thank you. Thank you for being here. So my cell phone bill. Thank you for allowing me to pay this bill, right? So I can continue to use my phone and call my family and friends and, do all that good stuff, maybe watch YouTube videos on it. And, sort of we're thankful for the people in our lives. We're thankful for every day, every breath we take. We're trying to express more gratitude in our life. And I feel like you are a very gracious person, like you feel very blessed, even when we're struggling, even when things are not perfect, and they rarely are, right? We have that gratitude. I'm very thankful for the money coming in. I'm very thankful that I get to pay the bills, because that's what's keeping the roof over my head, and keeping the lights on. So we are, we're trying to operate from that place, and it's not always easy. Sometimes we get frustrated. Sometimes we get sort of, we see a little bit of negativity over here, because, we're looking to improve our situation. We're looking to level up our life. We're looking to get more of these cups filled up, right? So the Eon card is a divine doorway. It is a pathway to a new future. It is kind of like saying, okay, I'm done waiting for things. I'm out here. I'm going to make things, We're not waiting for things to happen. We're out here making them happen, right? This is a doorway. Let's do a divine doorway oracle card. The doorway to your contented life, to your happy life, the doorway to your dream is here, okay? And I think that it might be a bit of a challenge going through that doorway, because it has to mean that we're closing the door on the past, okay? Forgive and forget, a ritual of cleansing of pain and lies, arise and awaken, see a new sunrise, okay? See a new sunrise. To me, this card feels like what it would be like to look at the sunrise. If we were seeing the sunrise, I feel like we would see a lot of the light being refracted through the atmosphere, and we would have all these different colors, a whole rainbow of colors in the sunrise, right? So I like that reference. But the forgiving and forgetting and a ritual cleansing, okay? That might be that there's some loose ends in life that we have to tie up right now, and especially with the 5 and the 7 here. This doorway, let's talk about it for a second, because this is literally shutting the door on the past and opening up the door to the future. A new future, okay? a universe that hasn't been created yet, but now we know how we want it to look and how we want it to feel, and we're going to create it. But we have to be willing to step through this doorway. Spirit will present the doorway to you, but you have to walk through. No one's gonna shove you through the door, don't worry. And once you go through, I feel like there's no turning back, okay? Because now we find ourselves in a new, almost like on a new timeline here. I feel like you're sort of shifting universes here, okay? The old universe is getting sort of further into the past, okay? We're splitting away from this universe, and I think you're building a new one, yeah? And so it may be that there are a lot of changes going on in your life. Going through this doorway, it's a card of change, right? It's a doorway. And I think that we understand that it might be sort of painful. I mean, it's a fiery doorway, right? It's rebirth on the other side of this. And so there's kind of like a death and rebirth process that has to happen. So I think we're shedding a lot of our old ways. We're trying to get rid of a lot of old habits, maybe even certain relationships that we don't want anymore, certain attitudes. We're trying to let go of a lot of these different narratives that we play in our heads about who we are and what we're capable of, what we're worthy of, what we're not worthy of, We're trying to get rid of a lot of those negative patterns of thought and the internal dialogue, okay? Nothing can come through this doorway that it is not essential to you. Right? Nothing, it's kind of like the fool is about to set off on a new journey, and the fool can only take what's available in their knapsack, what can fit into that little bag, that's it, right? Everything else is non-essential. So nothing is going to be allowed to pass through here that is not a true part of you. And so I feel like a lot of old thought patterns, a lot of karma is going to be left behind. It really is a kind of a peeling off of the old. Okay, we're kind of sandblasting ourselves here. A little Pantera reference there. And it's going to be a difficult thing, but I kind of feel like this is firing you up. Like you might be cleaning out you might say, well, you know what, springtime, at least in the Northern Hemisphere, I'm going to clean out all these closets. I'm going to get rid of all this old stuff that I just don't need anymore. I'm going to start fresh. And maybe right now you feel like you're going through that process of like purging, right? Maybe spiritually, mentally, emotionally, energetically, maybe physically, maybe like literally in your environment. You're saying, I'm going to get rid of everything and only put back in what I want. Could be that we're really like renovating the house here. Could be just the garage, right? Can take everything out of the garage, clean it really good, right? The ritual cleansing, right? And we're cleaning out the garage really, really good. And I'm just going to put in there what I want, and it's going to be spectacular. It's going to be marvelous in there. Okay. Now this does reference ritual cleansing of pain and lies. Okay. So I think that it is kind of like these stories that we've been telling ourselves, and maybe even things from the past that you feel have been crystallized into who you were that really don't need to be there. Okay. Maybe stories from your childhood, things going on with parental figures. I'm getting a connection with South Africa for you. I don't know what the connection to South Africa is. And also Spirit's saying, ask about the coffee grinder. So I don't know what the coffee grinder is. I don't know if you have it's something going on with coffee, or maybe you're trying to not drink coffee, or maybe you're just saying, I'm going to start drinking more, or I'm going to start drinking it black, In the past, we have this universe card, and this is a whole world that's been built up, a whole reality. And I feel like you're understanding that I'm evolving. We're being initiated beyond this. This is the old universe, So I feel like we're transiting through this doorway, and we are leveling up from this old life, this old crystallized life. It's kind of that. It's the universe is contracting back into the singularity, and then going forward, there's going to be another big bang, right? And so I feel like this one's done for you. And this might be a connection with your past that, again, we kind of thought was built into us. This is who I am. I can't escape my past. I can't escape my upbringing. I can't escape any of these parts of myself. But going through this period of transition, it feels like it's an initiation for you. It feels like this is a process of cleansing and purging and letting go of a lot of stuff from the past. Yeah. In order to build up the best life, because now we realize these are the things I want to have in my life. Okay, over here is just where our universe is cluttered, full of a lot of things, right? And now we're saying, well, you know what? I want something else. I want to build some different things. I got my pets, my plants, my people are in here somewhere. These are the things that I really want. Okay, and this is what I want my life to look like and feel like. Because this by itself, the Ten of Pentacles by itself, is empty. It's just empty shells. It needs the water energy inside of it. It needs to have that purpose. It needs to feel right. And so we have both of these cards now, and I think that this is the absolute hidden blessing of life right now, is that we can, if we understand how we want our life to feel, then we can slowly piece it together, slowly add in these pentacles that are going to perfectly embody this feeling. We don't start with the objects and then try to make them have meaning or purpose. We start with the feeling we want, and then we slowly build our life in that way. And if we put, that piece doesn't go there, I don't want that, that's for a different puzzle, that doesn't have the same alignment that you're looking for. So I feel like you're really on a new, starting a new adventure almost now, right? The Queen of Wands in the future position is interesting, because the Queen of Wands is not so resonating with the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups tends to extinguish the Queen of Wands, right? So we start with the Ten of Cups because this is the feeling, I know how I want my life to feel. But then when we go through this doorway, we don't want to cling to that desire or wish or that goal, because we have to be fired up. We've got to be ambitious. We've got to be, again, there's this there's a Sagittarius reference in your life here. This is, it's one of the Sagittarius power cards. But this is a very ambitious, a very ferocious person. One that is saying I know what my best life is. I know how I want it to feel. Let's background that. Because right now I don't want to be soft and sentimental and all watery. I want to be fiery. Okay? So we're not moving forward sort of clinging to the goal and desperately wishing and hoping for it. No, we know what it is, but we have to act with confidence and assertiveness and power. So I feel like this is you growing in stature and saying, I'm going to get my life. I want to build it the way I want to build it. Okay, so I feel like there's a tremendous empowerment for you here. Okay, this is the card that's unshakable. Nothing can perturb you. Nothing can really rock your world right now. You are solid, and you're on fire. You're creative. You're confident. I think you are energetic. You've probably been doing a lot of things to build up your vitality and your strength. Okay, I think that you've been really motivated, self-motivated. Okay, because the Queen of Wands is water of fire. So there's water in here, but you can't see it, right? Because it's been shrunk down to a little essence and put in your heart, and that's your motivation. It doesn't have to drown you right now, because too much of that water being expressed is going to extinguish the flame. So we need the flame to burn bright right now, because what we're doing is changing, right? We're changing ourselves. We're changing the reality. We're changing our world. Path of the Serpent, you start with the Two of Cups, love. Now, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. The readings are totally free. Okay. Now, did you buy a Dove and Serpent tote bag from my shop? Spirit's referencing a tote bag, a book bag or something with the Dove and Serpent logo on it. Anyway, the Two of Cups as your general energy. You are a person who loves. Period. You're a person who loves people, places, things, energies. You really are a person that I feel like you know what your personal tastes are, right? But you know deeper than that. You know what things bring you meaning. And I think what you're looking for in life is connection with people, places, things, pets, plants, people, situations, ideas, energies. You're looking for connections with energies that are reciprocating, that feel like they resonate with you. See, this is two things connecting that are sort of drinking from the same fountain, receiving their vibe sort of from the same source. Okay? Tapping into the same well there. So you're looking for resonance. And you're somebody that really is sensitive to that. And you can feel when there's not a connection in your life, then it's just not there. And that's okay. You don't get angry. You don't hate things. We're learning to let go of all of that, right? And we're learning that if I don't resonate with something, I don't have to just like permanently keep it in my life. Okay? We're realizing that sometimes being grateful and being positive and radiating love is understanding when we have to let things go and when we have to say, that's not for me anymore, and it's probably not for the other person either, right? Or the other thing. And so when there's just an incompatibility, I think you know that. I think maybe back in the day there would be an incompatibility, but you'd stick with it anyway. But now we're kind of saying, look, it doesn't work. There's still love in my heart, and we can continue going in different directions if that's the case. Okay. Because I feel like you are looking for those things in life that really build you up, make you feel better. And so the Two of Cups is sort of a decision. It's us asking a question with anything, everything in our life. Every single thing, an object, a person, a situation, a word, a phrase, an idea. Asking the question, am I better? Do I feel, subjectively, do I feel like a better person? Do I feel happier, or however you want to phrase it? Do I feel better having this thing in my life, or do I feel worse having this thing in my life? Does this make me a better version of myself or not? Is this expanding my heart, my mind, my soul, or not? Okay. And sometimes that leads us to a Five of Swords. We sometimes have to have a difficult conversation with people. The Five is, to me, feels like there is someone in your life that you're having this, conversation with. Because this is a card of disharmony, right? It may be a card of us kind of changing our mind about something, or even changing the way we interact with somebody, okay? Especially if the way that we have been interacting previous was with those crystallized kind of thought patterns and all that karma and all that heaviness that was attached to us, right? I feel that this is now, we're sort of changing the way we interact with the world. And we're interacting from this place of love and thankfulness and gratitude. Okay? There is a reference to Saturn here with the universe card, and I don't know if maybe there's a transit of Saturn in your chart right now, or maybe you're going through a Saturn return or something like this. Because I feel that there is now a shift in the way that you are experiencing the world. And that's going to change the way we interact with the world, the way we talk to people, the way we talk to ourselves. This is a card of change. It's a card of us changing our mind. A mental change that's going to result in different forms of communication. Okay. The rug. What happened to the rug? Spirit's saying something about the rug. Yeah. The next card we have is the Seven of Pentacles. It's a card of failure. What we don't want, right? What we want is this. What we don't want is this. Obvious, makes sense. I know how I want my life to feel, and I want to succeed at that. I want to go out here with my fire energy, with my fierceness, and I want to get this. I want this fire to earth. This is manifestation that works, right? And you are a manifester. This is, all of tarot is trying to teach you how to become the magician. The magician is the one that understands the art and science of manifestation. The magician is the one who can cause change in conformity with will. Now, the process of manifestation is symbolized in the tarot by fire and earth. Going from the heaven to the earth, from above to below, from inside to outside, from will to action, from inspiration to implementation, from impulse to behavior. Okay? And we're looking for wealth. Right? We're looking for our manifestations to work. Okay? What we don't want, obviously, is for our manifestations to not work. Because if they don't work, that means that we have failed somewhere along the way. There's too much stuff from our past holding us down. Maybe even up here, it could be the idea that we're too distracted by other things, that we cannot formulate our will into one into one solid beam of light in order to manifest it here. So something has been preventing it. Maybe the way that we've been thinking about it or communicating it or expressing ourselves or not expressing ourselves is affecting how our life is being created and whether our manifestations work. Okay, so this is obviously what we don't want. But this might be something we need because this is the obstacle card as well. This is the river we have to cross. And this might mean that we're going to have to go through a few iterations of things. You know, the first time building a universe, I don't think you're going to get it right on the first try. You know, and I was reading something, and I can't remember what book it was, but there was a scientist I don't know who, some smart person was saying that maybe this isn't the first universe that's ever existed, right? Maybe it's been a lot of attempts. Maybe this Big Bang thing has happened many, many times and it's gone back into the singularity, or it had a lot of false starts, or there was something wrong in each one. And I believe that. I believe in the multiverse. I believe that black holes are probably big bangs into other universes. But, you know, this idea that it wasn't just this universe was created and then suddenly the conditions are perfect for life, and now here we are. Maybe there's been a lot of attempts, and and I think that there are a lot of religious doctrine and a lot of myths and stuff that talk about this as well. There have been a lot of attempts to create the perfect universe where life can exist, but something didn't really work out so well, so scrap that one. Let's try again, you know. And so to me, it feels like that's kind of your energy too, that you are a creator. And sometimes as a creator, we have to try something and say, that wasn't quite right, scrap it, let's do it again. But we learn something every time. That's the key. And so we may have to go through a few iterations until we really build that kind of contented life where we have a perfect 10 and 10 cups and earth here, and through your intention, your willpower, and your power of manifestation. Okay, and that might be what we're doing here. We built this universe, and now we're saying, well, this wasn't quite right. So I got to go through this doorway. I got to start again. What we don't want to do is start to feel like a failure. Okay, we don't want to identify with the old universe and how it maybe wasn't perfect. There was a little something that wasn't quite right. So we're kind of doing it again. Okay, and I think the Eight of Wands is saying that we have to continue to create, and to continue to creation doesn't just happen like this and then it's done. Creation is an ongoing process, a living process. And so there will be times where I create something and it's not that good. I can do it again, and I can rebuild it. I can say, okay, well, that wasn't it. Let's do it one more time. And I think that we have to kind of solve our problems creatively. We can't just do the same thing. It's like, what can I mix differently? What can I change? Maybe that's why there's this Sagittarius reference for you, because of the art or temperance card. Sometimes we've got to mix the colors a little bit differently. And let's try it again. You know, we got to put in a little bit, maybe a little more pepper, a little less salt. Let's try it again. You know, that we can adjust our mixture a little bit and see when we can get closer and closer and closer to our perfect life. Because remember, it's not often that we're ever going to get a perfect life. I don't even think it's possible. I think we keep building and building and building, and we get as close as we possibly can. Sometimes we have to purge and go through a doorway and start over. Okay, in some aspects of life anyway, right? And this is sort of that card that says, well, I'm going to do it as many times as it takes, and I'm going to keep making adjustments, and I'm going to keep being creative and learning and growing and expanding, and I'm going to create the best possible universe that I can. I want to look at the mystery card. Maybe it will be a new universe. Maybe it will be the art or temperance card or the Empress card. If you have a prediction, please put it in the comments down below. Let's see what we have. Oh, a Nine of Pentacles. Well, that's good, because this is very close to perfect, right? It's a 9, not quite a 10, but it's a 9. And this is you living the good life, right? This is the perfect life. This is the perfect life. Get out a sheet of paper, get out a pencil, draw the picture of your perfect life. This is the life that you're actually living. This is pretty close, right? So I feel like what's going on here is that we're continuously trying to perfect our lives. Perfect ourselves, perfect our lives, continue to grow my personality and grow my personal reality. and I'm going to get as close to perfection as I can. And I'm going to keep living my life and trying to always just make progress, trying to do better and better. We're never going to get a perfect 10. Never. We'll get a 9.5, 9.6, 9.9999999. Keep adding nines on. It's a life. We're living it. It's not a finished state. It's not a final product. This is an odd number. It's a function. The even numbers are like, boom, creation, done, and now it's just inert. Now it's just a lifeless object. No, it's a living, breathing creation. Okay? That's always in the process of unfolding. And so this is that function. This is us living the good life and always trying to make progress and always trying to perfect that life, knowing that perfection is an abstract ideal, but we're going to work toward it anyway, right? And this is good. And you got your pets, your plants, your people. You got a little snail at the bottom that says, slow down and enjoy what you've created. Be present in your creation of your best life. We're going to do an extended reading if you want to stick around, and I hope you will. We're going to do an I Ching hexagram. We're going to do some oracle cards. There is a link in the corner. There's a link in the video description. New readings for Virgo Tuesdays and Saturdays. Be sure to watch both readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Okay, these readings are totally free. I'm trying to get the channel back in the algorithm, and I need your help. All right. Leave a comment if you haven't yet. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.